Oh, I haven't heard this all day until now. I think they do it on purpose. In the last few seasons, there have been few players who have put in more consistent top-level performances than Raheem Sterling. With his excellent dribbling, his skill, his speed, alongside his confidence and his ever-maturing attitude, the England and Manchester City star has been brilliant across all competitions for club and country. So today, I'll be looking at how he got there, where he is now, and asking the question, has Raheem Sterling joined Europe's elite? She knows as well. She turned around because she knew what she did, cycling right past the camera. Sterling being a decent player is not new news. In fact, he was part of the Liverpool team alongside the likes of Steven Gerrard, Luis Suarez and Daniel Sturridge that very nearly won the Premier League back in 2014. With 9 goals and 7 assists, Raheem Sterling had a pretty good first full season in the Liverpool starting lineup. However, it was after this that the pressure really started to pile on. Because of this fine season, he won the 2014 Golden Boy Award, which then meant that he went with England to the World Cup in that summer with all the pressure on his shoulders. He played a key role in what was a disastrous World Cup for England, so he was pretty much a scapegoat, and it brought to the limelight all of his weaknesses in his game. For all his fantastic running, speed and all of his intent, his final ball, all lack of, really wasn't there, and it kind of hampered his progress. There was obvious there was bags of potential with Sterling, but it was unsure whether he was able to fulfill it. The next season, things got pretty worse for Raheem Sterling at Liverpool. He was still doing okay on the pitch, but off it, he rejected a huge bumper new contract to see him stay at Anfield. Many players and fans were angry that he didn't sign a £100,000 a week deal, despite the fact he was only 20 years old. After ironing out, you dick. After ironing out some of his bad habits, his form in the last 18 months has absolutely skyrocketed. This season, he's well on his way to beating his previous campaign's tally of 18 goals and 11 assists. He's having his best year this season in terms of average pass completion at 86% and average key passes per game. All of this alongside what we saw earlier on in his career, the constant dribbling and amount of take-ons per game. It seems that Raheem Sterling hasn't changed his style of play, he's just getting better and adding more to his weaponry. So is Raheem Sterling actually one of the best? Where does he compare alongside his footballing peers? Well, in the Premier League, he's actually sitting pretty nicely. His goal-scoring feats have seen him almost within touching distance of the likes of Kane, Aguero, Salah, Aubameyang, those at the top of the chart. Likewise, with the assisting chart, he's up there with the likes of Eriksen, Pogba and Eden Hazard. In fact, Raheem Sterling this season is the only player to be in the top 6 for both goals and assists, and last season he finished the whole campaign inside the top 5 for both. So what about around the rest of Europe? Well, of course he's not posting the same kind of numbers that Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are. Who else is, to be honest? However, Raheem Sterling has scored more this season than Benzema, Werner, Lukaku, Griezmann and even Neymar, although the Brazilian at PSG has been hit by a few injuries this year. This, all whilst not even being the main focal point of the Manchester City attack. Sterling plays out wide where the rest of them play through the middle and, to be honest, are their team's main man. Just look at Cristiano Ronaldo at Juventus. No one else can even get a look in the goals because he's scoring all of them. So just how is Raheem Sterling doing it? Well, it's down to the way that Pep Guardiola plays him in this fantastic Manchester City side. Because of the widths of the fullbacks like Benjamin Mendy and Kyle Walker, it pushes the rest of the team infield a little bit more. This is where Raheem Sterling has come into his own and allowed himself to fully express all of his ability. He gets to link up with the likes of Aguero, Bernardo Silva and David Silva, which has seen him in the top 5 for the list of most dribbles this season, most chances created from open play and most touches in the opposition penalty box. Now, of course, doing these things just once doesn't necessarily make you a great, but doing them consistently is all what the game is about. For example, Ronaldo and Messi have done it year over year over year, and that's what makes them the best. Now, obviously, Raheem Sterling hasn't played as many years as they have, so it's impossible to compare the two. However, with Sterling's recent form in the last 2 years, where he's rarely gone off the boil, he could become one of Europe's best. By the way, shout out to the viewers, we're close to 250k, did you know that? We're like 900 people off, or less. This week, man. 500k on Insta and 250 on the YouTube English. Salt. So if he continues to rise like this with this incredible form, where does Raheem Sterling go from here? Well, first off, on an individual level, I think he should be the player of the season in the Premier League. I know it's a bit early to call it, but I can't think of anyone who's done anything else so consistently. As for leaving Manchester City, I just can't see it happening. The individual awards are one thing, but that's not what football is about. It's about the team winning trophies, and at Manchester City, he can do just that. For example, the only two who could even make him think about moving would be Real Madrid or Barcelona, but if he's going to move there, what could he possibly win that he's not going to win in England? Of course, taking away the fact that the domestic leagues are different. So even with those two big names, if they do potentially come calling, I cannot see Raheem Sterling jumping off the Man City bandwagon just yet. Much like City destroy teams and leave them behind, they also leave behind players if they're not good enough. This is something that definitely won't happen to Raheem Sterling on his current trajectory. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below whether or not you think Raheem Sterling has really joined Europe's elite. For me, I think he has, and he's one of the best players that England and Manchester City have at the moment. But whilst you're making your mind up whether or not Raheem Sterling really is one of the best players in Europe, you can click here or here to check out all of our other videos on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later. How many drop in this?